Holy moly! Did this baby formula company just outsource a critical safety process? Parents of babies who need a special medical infant formula have just been given a new job, Food Safety Officer. Potentially dangerous baby formula is being released for sale and parents are being told to conduct their own critical safety processing to make it safe. For reals? A batch of Nutricia-brand formula, which is manufactured by Danone in Europe, tested positive for the pathogen Cronobacter during import to Australia. The company has done its own testing and found none. Cronobacter can make infants seriously ill and sometimes dead, so it's not a bacterium you want in baby formula. I discussed how it gets into such products and how much is too much in issue 32 of The Rotten Apple. The most likely scenario for illness is when a tiny quantity of Cronobacter is present in the dry formula powder but multiplies to dangerous levels after the formula is reconstituted. Usually, when contaminated baby formula is discovered at a border, it will not be released to the market. But not this time. This time, Australian authorities have agreed to release the product and let parents feed it to their babies with special instructions about how to make it safe. Seriously? Why? Special infant formulas, like the one at the centre of this incident, are prescribed by doctors and paediatricians for babies with special medical needs. Once a baby is consuming one brand of formula, it's not easy or even medically safe to switch to another. Earlier this year, when a different brand of baby formula was recalled under similar circumstances, a concerned mother got in contact with me in a panic. The only formula she could feed her baby was that brand, and she wasn't able to find any product that wasn't affected by the recall. She was days away from having nothing to feed her special needs infant. Terrifying. Australian parents face the same hellish scenario if Nutricia was to recall or prevent imports of the affected batch. With parents unable to easily switch formulas, a recall or quarantining could result in the entire country's supply being rapidly depleted. The challenge faced by authorities then was to remove the risk from Cronobacter without letting vulnerable infants starve. Risk assessments. Food safety experts approach such challenges with a risk assessment. A food safety risk assessment compares the likelihood of a food safety hazard occurring versus the consequences if it occurs. In this case, the food safety hazard is Cronobacter, or more correctly, the presence of an infective dose of Cronobacter sakazakii in reconstituted formula at the time of feeding. The risk is significant because, although it is very unlikely for a baby to get sick from this batch of formula, remember, Nutricia's own testing failed to find the pathogen in that batch, the consequences could be very severe. Because it's a significant risk, the usual procedure would be to recall. But in this case, a recall could create a significant risk, a new significant risk, no food for babies. What to do? Find a way to eliminate the hazard from Cronobacter without discarding the affected batch of formula. A controversial control method. One way to control the hazard is to prevent the bacteria from multiplying. I'm assuming for this exercise that the levels of Cronobacter in this batch are very low because it hasn't been isolated by the brand owner and because higher levels would probably have triggered a different approach from the regulators. How do you prevent Cronobacter from multiplying in reconstituted formula? Use very hot water, which is lethal to bacterial vegetative cells, to prepare it. It's normal practice to prepare baby formula using cool water, which protects babies from accidental burns and might be better for the nutrients in the powder. The brand owner recommends that parents prepare the formula with water at 80 degrees Celsius and has offered to send thermometers to people who need them. By asking parents to do this to reduce the Cronobacter hazard, the brand owner is effectively outsourcing a critical food safety step. It's risky and controversial, but better than leaving parents with no food for their vulnerable infants. In short, A baby formula brand owner and government authorities are allowing product that may contain a deadly pathogen to be sold to parents of babies with special medical needs. Parents are being told to prepare the formula with very hot water to reduce the risk from the pathogen. And sources, as always, are in the email. Just a quick update from issue 32 on this one. How much Cronobacter is too much in baby formula? So this is what I said in issue 32. We don't know for sure, but we think that even very low numbers are risky. When a parent mixes formula with water to feed their baby, Cronobacter sarkozakiae reproduces rapidly. Researchers who tested this discovered that if a formula powder contained 1 bacterium per gram and was reconstituted and held at 35 degrees Celsius, then after 4.5 hours it contained enough Cronobacter to make baby sick. If there were more bacteria in the powder to start with, then the bacteria got to danger levels much faster.